Ancient Egypt was a remarkable, interesting place and has some of the most stunning evidence and monuments of the ancient world. It's no secret that the pyramids are awe-inspiring creations and are world famous for their size and craftsmanship. But a lot of information is still not really known, and the pyramids are still very much shrouded in mystery. The secrets that lie inside the pyramids are still largely unknown, as they are heavily protected. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 interesting Egyptian mysteries and discoveries. The unfinished Egyptian obelisk. There has been a large number of impressive monuments that were constructed in ancient Egypt. Today, we're going to talk about one you may not have heard of, but it is equally impressive. More than 3,500 years ago, it's thought that construction started on what would have been a colossal 42-meter tall obelisk had its construction been completed. This never happened, however. In Aswan, Egypt, it is theorized that Hatshepsut, a female pharaoh at the time, had ordered this mammoth monument to be created out of granite. An obelisk is a tall monument usually constructed outside ancient temples. They have 4 sides and taper off towards the top. A lot of obelisks have remained standing throughout history because they were so impressive. Civilization was so taken aback by these monuments that even thousands of years later, many of these ancient obelisks still remain to this day. The ancient obelisk found in Aswan, dubbed the unfinished obelisk, was never completed. Due to the sheer size of this particular monument, it would have been the tallest there was at the time by some margin. The large piece of granite it was being formed from cracked as it was freed from the bedrock. It is clear that after this crack formed, construction was stopped completely. However, the site of the obelisk is now an open-air museum that you can visit. This particular monument has allowed us to uncover some of the more interesting secrets of ancient Egyptian architecture, as the monuments themselves were actually carved into bedrock. The monuments still left are very much impressive feats of engineering and construction, so for carving them straight out of bedrock to be a common practice at the time is even more mind-blowing. Furthermore, stone balls known as dolerite balls were used to continuously hit the monument to remove any kind of imperfection. The unfinished obelisk shows us that they would have used the very interesting method of carving small holes in the stone and then would fill these holes with dry wood. This dry wood was then continuously doused in water until the expanding wood would break the monument free. The obelisk itself is an incredible engineering feat, obviously, but if it were completed, what kind of method would be used to put up the obelisk that finished, which would have weighed over 1,000 tons? How would they have been transported? This is potentially even more impressive than the monument itself. Nowadays, transporting this kind of monument would require a huge amount of planning. Hidden rooms in the Great Pyramid. Almost 4,500 years ago, between 2509 BC and 2483 BC, the pharaoh Khufu was ruler of ancient Egypt. During this time, Pharaoh Khufu ordered the creation of the Great Pyramid, a monumental display of power. Built completely for himself, the pyramid itself has more than a 13-acre base and originally had a 479-foot-tall peak. The construction of the Great Pyramid is astonishing. Over 2.3 million blocks of limestone were quarried, cut to specific measurements, and then placed into the formation we know today. The Great Pyramid is regarded as one of the wonders of the ancient world. In 2017, scientists studying the pyramid announced that they had found a previously unknown void inside of the pyramid that's estimated to be around 30 meters long. The last time any kind of big structure inside the pyramid was discovered was in the 1800s. This new void was found using a process called muon radiography. This method utilizes cosmic rays to locate voids or cavities inside of structures. This new discovery is being compared to the previously discovered Grand Gallery of the pyramid. The Grand Gallery is a 150-foot-long corridor that goes directly to the burial room of Khufu, the pharaoh that commissioned this marvel of the ancient world. This corridor is also around 26 feet tall and sits below the newly discovered area. Still, it is completely unknown what or if anything lies within this area and what it was used for. It could be several smaller rooms or one large area we simply do not know. This discovery is still huge. It brings us closer to finally being able to understand and even just know the various intricacies of this truly astonishing structure. This discovery was made by the Scan Pyramids project working with the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities and is widely regarded as the most impressive achievement of the technique used to find it. We know this large void exists, but we really know nothing else about it. Hopefully, it will potentially validate any ideas of exploring the Great Pyramid further, and hopefully understanding it better, maybe further exploration will uncover more secrets. Thermal mystery of the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid or Great Pyramid of Giza is home to many mysteries. Because of this, many researchers, scientists, and archaeologists are constantly examining and studying it. Before our previously mentioned discovery in 2017, there was a whole series of studies going on, but in 2015, whilst conducting thermal examinations of the Great Pyramid, researchers discovered that 3 stones located at the bottom of the pyramid were at a higher temperature than any of the others. Whilst this discovery itself is truly puzzling, it could be the result of a variety of different factors, from differing air currents inside the pyramid, even more small undiscovered areas, or perhaps an anomalous building material which could indicate repairs or strength carried out thousands of years ago. The team of scientists and researchers came from around the globe to carry out these thermal tests. The tests themselves are just as interesting, as they would examine and carry out testing during different times of the day to test different theories. The morning around sunrise was a specific time the researchers would carry out scans whilst the sun was beaming onto the limestone blocks and heating them up. They would then carry out the same scans, but in the evening around sunset once the same limestone blocks were cooling down. They continued these tests until they found the aforementioned anomaly of the 3 limestone blocks in particular that would display a difference of around 6 degrees compared to the rest of the block, which would at most show a temperature difference of around 0.1 to 0.5 degrees between sunrise and sunset. This difference in temperature is quite puzzling when compared to the minimal difference of the rest. These affected blocks in question were located on the east side of the pyramid. This could well have something to do with why they are anomalies, but for now this remains a mystery. The mysteries and discoveries that we've discussed today really do encompass the world's fascination with the ancient world and the need to understand all its intricacies. The Great Pyramid is always under constant study and research. The pyramid scanning we talked about with the Great Pyramid has also been continued on all of the other major ancient pyramids, as unlocking secrets of one could help unlock those of the rest, and even help us to understand ancient Egypt as a place even more. The discovery of the unfinished obelisk that taught us so much about how the other obelisks and monuments were made, so this continued effort made to examine, research and scan the pyramids really is incredible. Another interesting fact to look at is the depiction of the builders of the pyramids in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. It's a common fact known amongst Egyptologists that the ruling class of ancient Egypt was often depicted as 2 to 3 times the size of the average population. This is believed to be due to the importance of the figure, and so it was required to depict the ruling class in such a manner. However, others have put forward a different theory which suggests that these depictions were far more accurate than previously known, and the ruling class of Egypt could have been an advanced race of giants. So where does this idea come from? Well, believers in this theory point to the multiple carvings of giant humanoids that appear on ancient artwork. Back in 820 AD, the Sultan El-Rashid al-Mamun, dedicated to open the Great Pyramid, was told that the structure had been built by giants, who were referred to as the Shaddai, which roughly translated to superhuman beings, and that within these pyramids they had stored a great treasure beyond the knowledge of man. This means that not only were the Egyptian depictions of the ruling class accurate, but that neighbouring nations were well aware of the usage of the giants that laboured the construction of the pyramids, and had developed advanced technologies far beyond the reach of human beings at the time. Of course, this theory is not believed by modern science, and they say that as of today, there is no proof of this. Regardless, there are many people put there that believe there is a deeper meaning to the pyramids, and that the ancient Egyptians would have needed a massive amount of help in the form of brute strength. Even some researchers have come forward and said that the current theory of how pyramids were built is hard to grasp. But what do you make of these Egyptian mysteries and discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.